The man played defense when he needed to down low in the paint. The man was getting boards for you, securing things, and the man was hitting big shots. Big Perm is here to make a statement.
Yeah, we talk a lot, we talked about power forwards a lot and kind of how this tournament is huge for people's draft stock.
So the last time you saw me, guys, we were talking about how I didn't get drafted back into the league, and I got a job from CEI, from my boss, Jadd Schmeltzer. And at the time, I didn't know what it was gonna lead into. I think I mentioned that in that episode, but I was able to really focus on that, and I needed an outlet for all the energy that I had, all that built up frustration I had from not making it into the league. And it gave me an opportunity to do a lot of things that I didn't even know that I was gonna be capable of or asked to do. So over like the next 6 months, I didn't really have to focus on playing as much. So I went to a conference in Orlando, spoke to 200 people about esports. Along with my colleague, Joel Lopez, we worked to build out a curriculum around esports. We also ended up administering that course, which is one of the first elective courses, myself and Joel Lopez. We built out exit tickets and tests and all these things. And I truly started immersing myself in being an educator of esports and in this space. I'm in the space of esports and professional gaming just in a whole different way, and it really gave me a lot of perspective. So when the new game came out, I was locked in. I had done the work to secure myself a pretty steady paycheck, and I was ready to play. But what I wasn't realizing, what made it so brutal, was that the year before I had draft eligibility and was in the draft pool automatically from being in the league. Now, I had to sit there and play with other amateurs in these draft eligibility tournaments, plus work, plus play in other leagues against professionals to show that I'm still good enough. And it was getting to a point where my life was just a hamster wheel. I was waking up, going to work, coming home, taking a nap, and then once I got up, I played up until 3 in the morning. And I just became run down. I was lucky to happen to win one closer to the end. But there was an in-person event in Dallas. It was 8 days before the draft. Now, at this point, I already was a top 3 prospect at my position. There was 16 power forward spots available in the league. And I went to Dallas, and once again on the stage, I outperformed everybody's expectations. I beat a team of 5 2K players, a former MVP, the last year's champion. One of them was a champion the year before. And I made it to the Final Four in another in-person event with over 40 teams being there. And so I'm sitting here like, okay, I didn't make it the year before, right? Like I didn't make it the year before, but now I built another year, have this whole other esports thing I'm doing. I've really built myself up as a human being, as a man, as a player, as a teammate, all these things. Get dressed up real nice. It's an in-person draft. I'm like, I'm gonna put my hat on. I'm gonna get to put the hat on finally. I didn't get that experience when I first got drafted because of COVID. And again, I didn't get drafted. I sat there as I watched a lot of friends get drafted, and I was super happy for them. But once it got to the second round, and I hadn't heard anything from any teams, I knew it was done. So I got about a week, to kind of deal with that, not getting drafted. Again, like I said, it was a little bit easier this time, and I was fully locked in now to making myself an impactful team member at CEI. And one of the things I was tasked with as the 2K professional on staff here was I was a coach for 2 different 2K high school teams. One was at Summit in Red Hook in Brooklyn. The other one was the Business of Sports School in Manhattan. And in the beginning, it was brutal because, even though I knew some of the kids at both schools, like fives, was just not what they wanted to play. It was what I knew and loved. It was what I've been playing for 5-6 years professionally, but I needed to find a way to mesh what they wanted and what I wanted. And I realized it clicked one day. I just was watching them play and they were talking about how they play park. And I was like, wait, the 2K League has 3v3. So what I did was I spent, a good amount of time building out a point guard, a lockdown in the center like you would see in the 2K League. And to my surprise, the kids loved it. So that competitive aspect really started picking up, and it culminated with our first ever Champions League finals, which was in person at the Samsung 837 Center on Washington Street. And, thinking about it now, it was surreal. I was the MC and commentator of it, and just want to give a quick shout out to my team, you know, Joel Lopez, Jeff Chambers, Greg Torres, Janelle Robinson, Joel Otero, Jadd Schmeltzer, Isaac Espinosa, and just everybody, because they all exceeded my expectations, and I think I even exceeded my own expectations for what I can do. We had 6 kids come out on the stage, play on a board that was 3 stories high. We had a board, an actual interactive board, be on the line. It was a couple of $1,000s. And for it being our first event with only 2 schools, the turnout, the energy, the vibes, the competition was something that I'll never forget. You know, I look at all the stuff I've been through, and I know I'm nowhere near being done. I haven't reached my full potential yet as a human being, and that excites me, you know? I still want to try to get drafted. As I said before, I'm a reserve right now for the league, so I have a 2K League contract. I am getting paid by the 2K League. And I'm still also, you know, working for CEI, about to go into the summer, you know, get into the real nitty-gritty of building out our program. And, you know, I hope that I can expand this 3v3 league that we have and start including more and more schools. And I want it to be something that really builds a pipeline from high school to the professional league. Because right now we don't have that. You know, you play baseball in high school, you can go to college for baseball and become a professional. And other video games have that. We don't have that right now. So that's my real goal, is to have this be in a lot of middle schools and high schools in New York, and hopefully expand, have it be a nationwide thing where we're playing for large sums of money, even in high school, for scholarships and stuff like that. So that's my main goal right now, and I'm gonna put everything into it to make it work. Everybody counted me out. It's something that I thought about throughout this entire documentary, is how, like, people just in general, the majority, look at what I did and it's stupid to them. It was a stupid decision that would never work. 1 in a million. But I did it. And even if I don't get drafted again, I was a 2K professional. I played professional video games. That can never be taken away from me. And what I used it to do is to start another career in education of that same product, of that same game, the game that I love to play. So at the end of the day, I'm winning right now. I'm doing what I want to do, and probably can do it for as long as I can. And, you know, I look back at the journey, and it's been a long one. Some would say it was a misadventure. And I don't regret anything. I would do it all again. I would do it 10 times over. Because I'm here in this moment, right here, right now, doing this. And it might not be like that if I changed anything. So all those nights of staying up till 8 in the morning playing, you know, my mom looking at me crazy because I got circles around my eyes every time she sees me, and no one got it. No one understood what it meant. No one understood what it took. Only I did, and I did it my way. And I'd do it again, like I said. Even the last 10 years, you know, that have been really a struggle, whether it was financially, whether it was mentally, emotionally. I've gotten to a place where I have a great support system around me, not only in my work, but also at home, you know, and my family. And so, like, I want to just kind of go through some of the people that really helped me and pushed me to keep doing this and follow my dreams. And, you know, the first one for me is, you know, my partner, Shamik White. Like, I've been with her now for 8 years. We just had our 8-year anniversary, and I might have mentioned in another episode, but I wouldn't even be doing this if it wasn't for her. You know, when I was really struggling one year, it was before I got drafted, I wanted to quit. I felt like I had no traction, nowhere to go, and it just was not worth it. And she sat me down, and I was literally in tears, and she was like, no, you love this. Like, you got to keep doing it. And just the way she flatly said it is the main reason why I kept pushing through, and stuff started working out. So, you know, if you're watching this, Shamik, I love you. I don't know where I'd be without you, and, you know, you've always been my rock, and I appreciate that. And, you know, the next person for me is definitely my brother. You know, my brother Louis, he literally would be on the broadcast typing in all caps, Perm Nation, when I was in the league, even when we were 0-13. Like, he supported me through everything, and you know, a lot of people don't know I wore 33 to give a tribute to him in the league. That was his old goalie number when he was a hockey player. So I just think about all the things. He listened to me venting about how bad my experience was, you know, always listened to me about, like, oh man, this game stinks and stuff like that. Like, he's just always been there. And, you know, I know if his support wasn't there, I might have regretted some things and not even kept trying to go. So Louis, if you're watching, I hope you understand how much you helped me. And then it's now like more in the present. It's really my team here. You know, there's two people in particular. Jadd giving me the opportunity, obviously, he's become one of my best friends, is also being a great boss. And, you know, him and Joel Lopez, you know, two of my best friends now, and I've only met them about a year ago. You know, there was a time, even after I didn't get drafted the first time, where again, you know, you just go through these internal struggles where you're like, is it worth it? Do you want to keep doing it? And both of them sat there and looked me in my eyes and were like, nah, you got to keep going. Like, you love this stuff and it's what you want to do. Like, you need to follow your dreams. And that's one of the morals of this story, is like, you need people around you like that. You need people who actually care about you, and it makes me proud of who I am, that I have a lot of people around me who care that I go and do what I'm supposed to do, or, you know, help me seek out what my purpose is and what my mission is here in life. So, you know, I just thank them all, and I thank y'all for taking this journey with me throughout all the craziness that I've been through once I chose to, you know, stop being a lawyer and become a gamer. So it's been super fun. It's been cathartic for me, and I hope you enjoyed. If you made it this far, I truly appreciate you. You're a real one. And if you didn't know, I'm Big Perm, professional 2K League player, also CEI extraordinaire. And this was the Misadventure of Vincent Valerio. I appreciate you. Get up.